Global citizens, you're tuned into Fulgur channel, your go-to source for in-depth analysis on international affairs. And today, we're diving deep into the turbulent waters of the South China Sea. As tensions rise in one of the world's most contested regions, ASEAN and China find themselves locked in a bitter struggle for control over the West Philippine Sea. The South China Sea has been a hotbed of territorial disputes, with various nations staking their claims. In recent years, China's assertive actions in the region have heightened tensions, leading to a precarious situation. The West Philippine Sea is not just a physical battleground, it's also a legal one. International law plays a crucial role in determining who has the rightful claim to these disputed waters. China and the Philippines have exchanged accusations regarding a collision incident in disputed waters in the South China Sea. Chinese ships blocked Philippine ships supplying troops to the disputed area until a collision occurred. China and the Philippines have been embroiled in disputes in the South China Sea in recent months, especially at the disputed Second Thomas Shoal, part of the Spratly Islands. The Philippines has been sending supplies to troops stationed on rusty Second World War-era transport ships used as outposts in the shallow waters. This caused the Chinese Coast Guard to repeatedly deploy ships to block the supply mission. In the incident on Sunday morning, China's Coast Guard said there had been a minor collision between one of its vessels and a Philippine ship, while the Coast Guard was lawfully blocking the vessel from transporting illegal construction materials to the warship. Manila strongly condemned the blocking maneuvers carried out by Chinese ships. China's dangerous, irresponsible, and illegal actions are a violation of the sovereign rights and jurisdiction of the Philippines, Manila's task force for the West Philippine Sea said in a statement. Meanwhile, China claims sovereignty over almost the entire South China Sea, including parts of the exclusive economic zones of the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia. The Permanent Court of Arbitration in 2016 said China's claims had no legal basis. Last week, the Philippine military demanded that China stop its dangerous and offensive actions after a Chinese Navy ship shadowed and attempted to obstruct a Philippine Navy ship on a supply mission. United States President Joe Biden warned China that the U.S. would be forced to intervene if China attacks Philippine ships in the South China Sea, after two separate collisions in the disputed waters. Biden, in his press conference at the White House, said that in the past week Chinese ships carried out dangerous and unlawful actions when the Philippines, which Biden claims is a friendly country, carried out a routine mission to procure supplies within their own exclusive economic zone in the South China Sea. Any attack on Philippine aircraft, ships, or armed forces would violate our mutual defense treaty with the Philippines, explained Biden, who also emphasized the strong U.S. defense commitment to the Philippines, as quoted by Bloomberg. It is known that a Chinese Coast Guard ship collided with a Philippine contracted supply ship as it headed towards a rusting World War I-era vessel at Second Thomas Shoal more than 2 decades ago. 2 hours later, a Chinese maritime militia ship rammed a Philippine Coast Guard ship in the same operation to deliver supplies. Biden's statement came when Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi visited Washington this week for high-level meetings, including a meeting with Biden. Meetings are also scheduled with Secretary of State Antony Blinken and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, as the two countries continue a series of diplomatic engagements intended to manage tensions. Meanwhile, Wang's visit is seen as part of efforts that could form the basis for Biden and Xi's meeting next month in California. Regarding its response to Uncle Sam's statement, China said that the U.S. is not an interested party in the South China Sea issue, so it has no position to intervene in problems between China and the Philippines. U.S. defense commitments to the Philippines must not undermine China's sovereignty and maritime rights and interests in the South China Sea, nor should it use those commitments to support the Philippines' illegal claims, explained Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Mao Ning. China itself has repeatedly urged the Philippines to get rid of the BRP Sierra Madre ship, which it says is illegal and deliberately ran aground on the second Thomas Shoal. According to China, Manila's move was a response to China's occupation of the nearby Mischief Coral Reef. China also considers second Thomas Shoal, which it calls Renai Jiao, part of its territory. 2 Chinese Navy ships shadowed Philippine and U.S. vessels patrolling together in the South China Sea, the Philippine military said, as tensions flared in the region over disputed territorial claims. We confirmed the appearance of 2 PLN vessels remotely shadowing maritime cooperation activity participants, said Xerxes Trinidad, head of the Philippine military's Public Affairs Office. The 2-day maritime exercise involving Manila and Washington, which ended as planned on Thursday, was the second in less than 2 months in the West Philippine Sea. The area that Manila calls its waters and is in the South China Sea is within the 200 nautical mile area, within the Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ. The activity came following Beijing's warning to the Philippines that any miscalculation in their escalating dispute in the South China Sea would lead to a harsh response. The joint patrol took place as China's military said it would carry out routine patrols with its Navy and Air Force in the South China Sea from Wednesday to Thursday, but did not say where exactly the patrols would be held. The Philippine military said on Wednesday the second joint patrol this week involved 4 ships from the Philippine Navy and 4 ships from the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command that included an aircraft carrier and cruiser each, as well as 2 destroyers. That wraps up our exploration of the ASEAN-China clash in the West Philippine Sea. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more geopolitical updates. Until next time, signing off from Fulgur channel. Stay informed, stay curious.